Good afternoon and welcome back to the channel. It's another rainy day today, so we're inside the cabin pre-building our overhangs that we have to install prior to putting on our roof sheathing. We thought it was a good project to pre-build them inside since it's pouring down rain. Now that all the studs are cut for the overhangs, we're going to start assembling them. You may have noticed that one set of studs is slightly longer than the other set, and that is so that way our measurements line up where we shouldn't have to cut the metal roofing once we install that. What are you doing, muddy boy? What are you doing? You are wet and muddy, dog. Are you wet and muddy? Yeah. Good morning. We have a gorgeous day today and we don't get a lot of those, so we're taking advantage of the dry weather today. We're going to start the sheathing on the walls. Right now, Chris is measuring out for blocking. We're going to get that cut and installed, and then we'll be able to start putting on our OSB.
Since we're running OSB on this wall, we're running it horizontally because it is stronger in a horizontal configuration with OSB. If we were to use regular plywood, that is stronger in a vertical position, and that's mainly just because of the grain in the wood. Since we're running the OSB horizontally, we're going to put blocking at each location where there's a break, and we are going to stagger the joints for strength. But by putting that blocking in there, it gives it a full surface to nail across the entire way everywhere there is a break in the plywood, and that adds a lot of strength since we're not nailing them vertically in the center of a stud. Sweatshirt.
Is your bridge gone, bud? He's like, oh, I'll just jump up there.
Since we're doing 24-inch spacing on these studs, we did upgrade the wall sheathing to 19/32 OSB, just like we're doing on the roof. You can get away with 1/2 inch, but it was only about a $160 upgrade to go to the thicker stuff. So I'm going with that for a little bit more strength here. Might regret it when I'm trying to lift them heavy sheets up top, but the overall strength is actually pretty good. We're using 2 3/8 ring shank nails for this. You have to set these to a proper depth. If they're seated too deep, they lose a lot of holding power in the OSB. So they want to be just flush with the OSB, not recessed in. So we have the nail gun turned down. We are doing 6-inch spacing around the outside rims and 12-inch on any interior studs. That's the standard practice for OSB. On the walls, we are putting the smooth side out. This has a little bit more of a wax coating for better water resistance. We are going to have the house wrap on here as well for added protection, but in case of any water gets behind the house wrap, this will give it a little bit better protection having that smooth side out. I use blue tools too. push it in at the bottom. I missed the nail on the left. There you go. Okay.
No, you left it.
Should push more off the other side, huh?
Yeah.
Let it out. Let it out. Let it out. Let it out. Let it out.
I think I just held it. Would it be easier if I just hold it to where you need it? Oh.
Let it down.
I am.
It's pretty bad. What do I need to do?
It needs to come up a little bit.
Finale, get back. Go lay down. Can you push down on the right side a little bit to level it? Yeah. Whoa. Now just pull the whole sheet to your right. There you go. Whoa. Perfect. Reposition. Okay. I think that is. Okay. This ladder doesn't feel like it's ready to hold me.
No.
Might be time to switch to the big one.
Yeah,
What do you think?
maybe.
I mean, it technically should, but that feels extremely wimpy. I think it's time to switch.
Yeah. Since it's raining today, we're going to go ahead and knock out all of the blocking for this lower end wall and the upper end wall, so that way when it stops, we can just continue on with the sheathing. And if we have time after we finish the blocking, we're going to continue working on our overhangs.
It stopped raining for a few minutes, but the winds are still really high, so we're not going to go 25 feet in the air to work on that last piece of plywood on the other side. So what we're doing is, since we got all this blocking in, we're going to go ahead and start running plywood on this side down low where it's safe in the high wind.
Stuck on your camera.
grab it before we get a gust of wind? I need to start like shimmying.
How's it feel to have that last piece of plywood on this side?
Relief. It's a ways up there. I'll be glad when
The other side's done.
I'll be glad when the whole thing's done. So I can just live in it.
That end is good. Your end over here needs to come up. There you go.
You able to get it?
I,
Because I'm done.
there you go.
Please don't let it fall on us.
I will try my best, but for some reason this one's like, oh god. Not heavier. It's off that nail.
might have to get that stabilizer off that other one.
Yeah. You go over just a little bit because you're hitting your, there you go, a little more.
Hang on. I gotta stand it up.
Okay.
Can you hold it for a sec? Oh no.
Oh, God.
Push, yep. There you go. Finally. Should I pull it? Alright, I'm coming up. Okay, it needs to go at the top. Okay, now it's sliding in. Now pull it in again.
This is as strong as I can pull it in.
this going to be like something where you got to put screws in it to hold it?
Of course, it gets windy like right as you're climbing up.
Of course. I don't think I would have done this without that stabilizer either.
No.
And this is why we have wireless tools. My bit flew apart. It's getting really late and the ball bearing ended up falling apart or flying apart on the end of our router bit, so we're going to call it a night and then we'll come back out here tomorrow and put a new bit in and try and get it all stripped off there.
We just finished up with our end wall sheathing and we had a couple of nice days this week, so we were able to knock out all of that. We did put a hold on the overhangs so that way we could get all of the sheathing put on. While we were working on the end walls, we have been simultaneously working on the roof as well. It's all been weather dependent based on wind and rain, and if we have nice days, we'd rather be working on the roof. If we have super windy days like today, we've been trying to knock out the end walls. We will have an update for you soon on the roof, and we'll get the overhangs finished up. We do have to get those on before we can start sheathing the roof.
It's a big relief to get all that sheathing on the end wall. It was a little bit daunting with it being up as high as it is, but we got it all figured out, and it really wasn't that bad after all. The hardest part is just going up and down a ladder a million times. But now that we'll be on to the sheathing on the roof, I think it'll be a little bit easier just because it's not a straight vertical drop.
And it's a little less nerve-wracking seeing you up on the ladder
Yeah,
when it's not straight up and down.
it's still hard work up there on that slope, but it's really not that bad on the ladder, but compared to the end wall anyways.
Yep. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon.